I think you should just call him Black Spanish boyfriend and get him up here to see. He's still in New York, isn't he?
Honey, I have no idea.
You don't have to rub it in, babe. I'm aware that all men are
Can
actually...
you please do this?
Way to make a guy feel wanted. If anything, I should be grateful to Jose, right? He broke your dad. At least I spoke English.
Dad's still traumatized. He brought up that Thanksgiving on the phone the other day. Anyway, I don't know what you're so worried about. It's not like anyone's gonna see this.
Maybe. Jenny Sass loved your last show.
He liked it. He didn't love it. It didn't sell.
Selling isn't it?
Selling's not everything. You really believe that?
It's work.
Fine, just stay where you are.
Yeah. Paolo, I'm not your therapist. You don't pay me to listen to you, you pay me to listen to me. Yeah, but you're not listening. You're going to kill this deal. Look, the point is, they buy, they own it. They do what they want. That's how it works. Paolo, I'm getting another call. It's about the contract. I gotta go. You enjoying your Cheerios? Well, then what the fuck else was keeping you from taking my calls? You don't care it's a Saturday morning. You're paid 6 figures to return my calls. Paragraph 4, subsection 3. Why are those 3 words still in there? You forgot them? No. What actually happened is, I told you to fix it and you didn't. Then behave like it. Fucking career badly.
Wow,
I don't catch you, little fucker. It cost the client 850 grand.
it's actually kind of hard.
You're so good. What's his name again?
Montevideo.
It's a little fucked up. Grab me that, please.
I happen to know you like it a little fucked up.
I should call more.
Do you want more coffee?
Hey, Mort. Good, good. Listen, I talked to Paolo again. Seller's remorse. It's a moot point. His board's gonna vote against me. What do you want me to do? Okay. I'll give him the line of litigation. He doesn't have the stomach for that. Don't worry. By the time I'm done with him, he's gonna go into PTSD every time he sees my name on his collar. Yeah. She's right here. Mort says hi.
Tell me hi.
She says hi. We've got plans for Labor Day, Mort. Don't worry about it. Good. Sounds good. See you then? Alright. Honey, Jody and Isaac, Bucks County. It's taken forever to make this happen.
I know.
Isaac's a big deal, and he's gonna love your work.
How's Mort?
Still obsessed with the idea that meditation is gonna lower his cholesterol?
Haven't seen him in ages.
I barely see him. He hardly comes in. A few hours at most a day when he does show up.
Pays to be the boss.
I mean, basically, I'm doing his job. I don't mind.
He loves me.
He depends on me.
Okay, he spent I don't know how much on that birthday present for you.
Couple of grand at least.
Excuse me.
I really am pretty much doing his job.
So he buys you a book, or takes you out to dinner, or buys you a bottle of scotch. Why do you get you a statue of Shiva? He doesn't think you're Hindu, does he?
He may have mentioned something once. You're aware that I'm going to end up with my name on that phone?
The ballots, Bernstein, Harrison, report.
My mother is going to roll over in her grave.
Your mother would be proud.
It's not the family name, so she might not care. seeing it alongside all those Jewish ones.
That'll be me.
Abe?
Your nephew?
Right. Wait.
Yes? Sanjay.
Never gonna let this thing go, are you?
I don't like what's happening. Somebody's got to do something about it.
You wanted me to go see him in prison. Sorry, I went to see him in prison. What more do you two want?
Should I come back?
No.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Come on in, Hussein.
I'm good.
What?
Would you just call me Abe?
I've known you your entire life as Hussein. I'm not gonna start calling you Abe now.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Ravi. See? How hard can it be?
Abe Jensen. Really?
You know how much easier things are for me since I changed my name? It's in the Quran. It says, you can try to do something after.
I'm not talking about the Quran. I'm talking about you being called Abe Jensen. Just lay off with me and your folks at least.
It's got to be one thing or the other. I can't be all mixed up.
Amir, you changed your name.
You got lucky. You didn't have to change your first name. You could be Christian, Jewish. Plus, you are Margaret. It's different.
Do you want something, sweetie? Coffee or juice?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, what's up?
I'll let you gentlemen talk.
No need. We both know you're in on this. So you've been calling her now?
You weren't calling me back.
Why are we still talking about this? I'm a corporate lawyer in mergers and acquisitions.
You started as a public defender.
That was ages ago. Your man should have been more careful.
Imam Khalid didn't do anything. Every church in the country collects money. That's how they keep their doors open. We are entitled to.
He's got the right. Just because they're collecting money doesn't mean it's for us.
And what does any of this have to do with me?
It doesn't matter if an innocent man is in prison.
I don't know Patriot after all. And the guy's already got a legal team. Those guys, Ken and Alex, they're amazing.
They're not Muslim.
They're
What?
what I thought. I'm not going to be part of some legal team just because your imam's a bigot.
He's not a bigot. He'd just be more comfortable if there was a Muslim on the case.
More comfortable if he wasn't represented by a bunch of Jews?
No. He liked me. He said you were a good man.
Well, he might not feel the same if he knew how I really felt about it.
That's just a face.
Excuse me?
That's what Mom says grandpa used to say about you. That you were working something out. That you were just a good Muslim when you were a kid. And you had to go the other way for a while.
The other way. Sit down, son. I need to tell you something.
So just tell me.
No, I need you to sit down. When was your first crush?
I thought you wanted to tell me something.
I'm getting to it. Your first crush?
It was in 5th grade, a girl named Ashlesha.
I was in 6th. Her name was Rivka.
I thought your first crush was Susan.
Susan was the first girl I ever kissed. Rivka was the first girl I ever got into the morning thinking about. She went away on vacation in the middle of school year once. She was gone a week and I was a mess. I didn't even want to go to school if I couldn't see her. She was a looker. Dark hair, dark eyes, dimples, perfect white skin.
Why didn't you ever tell me about her?
I didn't want you to hate my mother. Just wait. So, Rivka and I were at the point of trading notes. And one day, my mother got a hold of one of the notes. Of course, it was signed Rivka. Rivka, my mom said, that's Jewish. Now, I didn't know what a Jew was at this point, other than something about how they stole some land from the Palestinians and something about how God hated them more than other people. I couldn't think God could have hated this little girl, so I told my mom, no, she's not Jewish. But she knew the name was Jewish. If I ever hear that name in this house again, Ahmed, she said, I'll break your bones. You're going to end up with a Jewish girl over my dead body. And then she spits in my face.
God.
That's so you don't ever forget. sister goes on to you about this way and the other way, now you'll have a better idea of the phase I'm really going through. It's called intelligence.
I'm surprised.
About what?
I don't know. Your mother was always very open with me.
Let's say I made it abundantly clear not to mess with you.
I thought she liked me.
Seemed like it to me.
She kissed me on her deathbed.
You got it on her. You were open-hearted, gracious.
You're making it sound like there was some whole battle going on.
Well,
About what?
white women have no self-respect. How can someone respect themselves when they think they have to take off their clothes to make people like them? White women are whores.
What are you saying?
What Muslims around the world say about white women.
Not everyone says that.
Have you heard it before?
Yes.
And more than once?
Yeah.
And from your mother? I rest my case.
Imam Farid is not like that. He's actually your kind of guy. Once a month, we're doing a Friday prayer that's mixed.
And he's let me sit in his mosque and sketch for weeks.
He was probably hoping you'd convert. Who knows, you probably will.
Don't be dismissive.
I don't get what you've seen.
In what?
In Islam,
Do you remember those mosques we visited in Cordoba?
yeah, those were great.
The ones with the pillars and the images. Remember what you said to me then?
I'm sure you're going to remind me.
That they actually made you feel like praying.
That's the point of the mosque,
And
honey.
that Matisse show you loved so much? Amir, all of that was inspired by mobile miniatures, carpets, Moroccan tiles.
Yeah, probably.
There is so much beauty and wisdom in the Islamic tradition, Amir.
The thing is, it isn't just beauty and wisdom.
Uncle, don't think of him as a Muslim if you don't want to. Just think of him as a wise man who so many people depend on.
I hear you, boss. I really do.
So come to the hearing next Thursday.
Next Thursday is a busy day at work.
An old man who didn't do anything wrong is in prison.
And there's nothing I can do about it.
I should probably get out.
I didn't mean to snap at you.
Just think about it.
Okay, fine.
You okay, sweetie?
Yeah, I'm fine. I should probably go.
Bye.
Will never cease to amaze me. I mean, my parents moved to this country, bring my sister, don't make her a citizen. When she's old enough, they send her back, marry her off in Pakistan. She has kids with the guy, and lo and behold, he wants to come here. And what do they do? Spend all their time in an Islamic center.
His heart's in the right place, Amir.
Okay, I know.
Is yours?
What does that mean?
All those years that you worked at the public defender's office, you must have believed in justice. Why else would you have worked there?
Public defenders are the hottest girlfriends.
There's some part of me that wants to believe that you actually believe in what you were doing. I don't know, but
No, of course.
when it comes to the imam, it's like you don't care. Like you don't think he's human.
You wanted me to go see him. Sorry, man. I went to see him in prison, and all he could do for an hour is try and get me to pray
I
again.
know.
I mean, he's been in prison 4 months, and all he could do.
Okay, you told me. So what? So a man who has nothing left but his dignity and his faith is trying to be useful in the only way he knows how? Amir, if he thinks he needs one of his own
I'm
people,
not one of his own people.
you are. And in a way that's unique. And that can be helpful to him. Why can't you see that?
We stop talking about this.
You never talk about this. Not really.
represent architects helping to build the 9/11 memorial.
The remembrance ceremony also highlighted a determination to build again.
It's with the strength of these emotions, as well as the concrete, glass, and steel that is brought in day by day, that we will build on the footprints of the past, the foundation of the future.
Amen. So you vote.
Yep, just got it. Here, check it out.
Wow, this is awesome. What kind of phone is this?
It's a blackberry.
Oh wait, this is a BlackBerry. Looks so cool.
Yeah, man, this is the fused blackberry, designed for the next generation of working professionals.
Working professionals, huh?
Yep.
Is that why you're playing injuries?
The new BlackBerry, coming to Grid X, same, safe, secure network. For the next generation of working professionals, BlackBerry is more than expected. Find out more at BlackBerry.com.
The full horror of Japan's earthquake and tsunami disaster is now becoming evident. The country's reputation for calm efficiency is being sorely tested as it confronts a growing humanitarian nightmare and a nuclear emergency. Today, Japan's woes deepened with another explosion at the crippled Fukushima nuclear plant, a tsunami scare that proved to be a false alarm, the reported discovery of 2,000 bodies in Miyagi Prefecture, the introduction of water, fuel and electricity rationing, and the need to find food and shelter for up to 1 million homeless. Japan's Prime Minister says the crisis is the country's worst since the Second World War. The ABC's North Asian correspondent Mark Willisey begins our coverage from Hachinohe at the northern end of the tsunami zone.
The defendant, surrounded by a gauntlet of attorneys, struck a defiant tone. He spoke eloquently of the injustices he'd experienced and what he called an unconscionable lack of due process. A mere complaint, as far as anybody knows, there isn't a case. And if the Justice Department has one, it's time they started moving. I don't think you look like the counsel for the defense.
That's because you know I'm not.
Because this doesn't say you are.
The defendant, surrounded by a gauntlet of attorneys, struck a defiant tone. And then she quotes an attorney, me, implying that I'm one of the gauntlet of attorneys. She doesn't even quote another attorney.
She says you're just supporting him.
We don't see a just. There isn't a just supporting him.
Why?
I think it reads very clearly that I was supporting his defiant tone, that I was somehow supporting him being defiant.
Isn't he justified?
It's not my point, man.
Maybe it should be.
The man's basically an alleged terrorist. Ahmed Kapoor supported the imam.
Even if it does make
So it does.
I don't think it does. But even if it does, why is that a bad thing? You did the right thing, Amir. You're standing up for due process.
It's anything at all. They will know the name isn't Muslim.
Amir, what's going on? If this bothers you so much, call the time. Have them retract.
The thing is, I did say this.
I remember.
But after clearly stating that I was not counsel for the defendant. Why did they have to mention the firm?
Baby, you did the right thing. I am so proud of you. So was Abe. And you will see, Lawrence going to be proud of you too.
Oh, it's not the one I'm worried about.
This will be good for you.
Good for me?
Look at Goldman,
Goldman?
Sachs, Jamie. He took all that philanthropy so seriously.
What does your douchebag banker ex-boyfriend have to do with this?
Isn't that how this works? Isn't that how all you guys cover up the fact that all anybody cares about in your world is making money?
I need to get going. Probably look for support.
Honey, stop it. That's Isaac. He's here.
Okay?
What?
Nothing.
Are you annoyed with me?
I need to go.
You are. Honey, this is a big deal for me. I have a studio visit from the curator.
And who do you think made it happen?
Really? Now? Can we talk about this tonight?
There's nothing to talk about.
Hi, yes. Seneca. Honey, it's going to be fine. No one's going to see
Don't.
it. Don't what?
I know your mind is elsewhere.
It's just... Amir, I think you're overthinking this.
Let me get this straight. Some dude is a dick to me in a restaurant and you want to make a painting. But if it's something that might actually affect my livelihood, you don't even want to think that there could be a problem?
What does one thing have to do with the other?
I need to get my phone.
Hi. How are you?
Great.
Found it okay?
We're right at Madison.
I'm sorry, Amir is just on his way out.
Hello, sir.
Isaac, nice to see you. Thanks for the wonderful weekend in the country.
What's my pleasure?
I got it done. I'm late for work.
You should probably reach there before my bike comes.
Always do. See you later.
Bye, honey. It's gonna be all right. You'll see.
Is this a bad time?
No, no.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anything.
Can I get you anything? Coffee or tea?
Coffee, great.
Milk and sugar?
Black discussion we had since the last weekend.
About me being a white woman with no rights to use Islamic forms? I still think you're wrong about that.
I think I might be wrong too.
What happened?
Well, I happened to go through some of your work online.
You read Jerry's review.
Yes, I did. I usually don't agree with what he has to say, but he did have some compelling things. Is that the one you wanted me to see?
This is the one in the apartment. I have a couple more in the studio.
It has a presence. The surface tending towards the convex. It's a bending of the picture thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Which is why Jerry was talking about being born out.
Isaac, the mosaics in Andalusia are bending the picture plane 4,000 years before Bonner. This is what I mean. This is what I was talking about. The Muslims gave us Aristotle. Without them, we probably wouldn't have this kind of visual perspective.
That's quite a statement.
And I can back it up. What?
I don't know. It's the earnestness, the lack of irony. It's unusual.
Irony is overrated.
Well, I can't say I disagree with that. But you know what you're going to be accused of? Orientalism. I mean, hell, you even got the brown husband.
Fuck you, I think.
Good. That's what they're gonna say.
Yeah. Well, we've gotten too wrapped up in the optics. The way we talk. We've forgotten to look at things for what they really are. When you're at the Fiestas ball, after the constables, you need to see the Victorian Garden. Islamic galleries. Room 42, remember that. It'll change the way you see art.
There's fighting words.
The Islamic tiling tradition, Isaac, is a doorway to the most extraordinary freedom. And a kind that only comes from the sort of profound submission. In my case, of course, it's not submission to Islam, but to a formal language, patterns, and repetition. Quiet. That my work requires, Isaac? It's extraordinary.
You sound like this mid-century American minimalist trying to obliterate the ego.
The Islamic tradition has been doing it for 1,000 years. Pardon me for thinking they may have a better handle
arbitrary assaults on the scene of our critic for New York Magazine. And today I want to show you some of my favorite paintings in all of New York in a number of museums. So come with me into this unbelievable buried treasure that's right under our noses all the time. Come on. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. It's just running well together. Delightful. Frankenstein, Starbucks, drinking an old favorite with a twist. Talking about fresh latte returns with balconies and milk, espresso shots, now sprinkle with crunchy cocktail toppings. Jingle all the way. The talking of crunch latte. Only at Starbucks. I quoted President Obama, please do not take any wrong step, because any wrong step will eliminate consequences that are beyond the imagination of nature. Iraq is being tested all over the world. Don't test Iraq. Iraq is a country with 3,000 years of history. It has shown that it can withstand the test of time. But other countries, although they may be superpower, they have not come up with this.
Hey, honey.
Hey. How are you?
Oh my gosh. Just getting a few things for tonight.
Tonight?
As like a jury. You didn't forget, did you?
That's why it smells so good in here.
I made for a tenderloin. And guess what? They have a turd. And that liver mousse you love so much.
Great.
Can't be bad news, right? I'm coming to your house to eat your food and tell you you're not in the show. No one does that, right?
So you're in?
God, I hope.
Honey, we've talked about this. It doesn't help.
I miss you, Amir.
I know.
So I'm assuming you forgot the wine?
I did. I'm sorry.
Amir,
Say I'm sorry.
what's going on?
Nothing.
Something's wrong.
I had a meeting with the partners today. I mean, you could call it that. I'm sitting in my office, redlining a contract due at 6. Stephen comes in with Jack, sits down and asks me where my parents are gone.
That is that.
I said India, because that's what I put on the form when I got hired.
Why?
Technically was India when my dad was born,
Okay.
but the names of the cities you listed are not in India, Stephen says. They're in Pakistan. My dad was born in 1946, when it was all one country, before the British chopped it up into 2 countries in 1947. And when was your mother born? 1948. So it wasn't India anymore, was it? It was Pakistan. My clock is running and I'm wasting time on a fucking history lesson. Turns out, he's trying to ascertain if I misrepresented myself.
Sounds like...
It was all India. So what if it has a different name on it now? He knew about my name change. Your name is not Kapoor, it's Abdullah. Why did you change it?
Didn't he already know?
I didn't tell him.
They must have run a background check.
I had my social security number changed when I changed my name.
You did?
Yeah.
Is that legal?
People do it all the time. When they go through identity theft. Steven must have been digging it up. He has it in for me. I knew I should have never gone to that hearing.
Right, that was months ago. What does that have to do with anything?
A lot. I mean, a lot.
Have you talked to Mort about it?
I can't get a hold of him.
What time is it?
10 past.
I'm leaving here. I still have to get ready.
Go get ready out there. Yes, send them up.
Are you going to be okay?
I'll be fine.
You sure?
Yeah, go.
Can you get the appetizers that are on the counter in the kitchen?
Got it.
Ahmed?
Come on in, George.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Hey, Ahmed.
Hi, Jody. Did we say 7:30?
Oh, I was sure she said 7. I told you.
She's still getting ready.
Oh, no worries.
More time to drink, right?
We've got dessert.
Magnolia Bakery? Thank you.
You should go in the fridge. I was at the Knicks game last night.
You were?
Aren't you a Knicks fan?
I'm sorry to say.
I mean, no dishonor in it.
Not dishonored, but lots of pain.
I'm a Cubs fan. Don't get least tired of me.
The Bartman.
I mean, I didn't think he should be killed, but I had friends who
Killed?
just who's Bartman? Honey,
The fan who stole the ball out of Cubs outfielders
was
had
this a eighth inning?
and denied the Cubs a trip to the World Series.
You don't remember this?
It's ringing a bell. Smells great here.
M's making pork tonight. You eat pork, don't you?
Every chance he gets.
I'll make up for all those lost years. Could I use your restroom?
Yeah, down the hall on the right.
I remember.
So, what are you drinking?
You have scotch?
I still have that bottle of Macallan that you gave me.
I expect more from you, Ahmed.
We'll drink it tonight. On the rocks?
Eat.
You're not kidding around.
Did you hear about Sarah?
What about her?
She got a terrier back.
How?
She hired a dog investigator and he kidnapped her.
Lord.
Frank's got to sue her
On what grounds?
just to make her life miserable.
The truth.
Tell me about it. She and I ran into Frank at the courthouse.
Oh. You were at court today?
Proctor and Charles arbitration.
How'd it go?
They went fine. We're just dancing around the number now. They have to pay a kilometer. We just need a little time to get this together here.
Was Mort there?
Steven took it over. He has me on it now.
But doctors what?
Was.
Why is that not a surprise?
What couldn't be bothered? Rather be meditating.
Yeah, instead of taking his cholesterol medication.
You know, he took me to lunch and tried to teach me how to meditate. I actually tried it a couple of times. I ended up gaining 5 pounds. I couldn't stop thinking about food. I'd get frustrated, I'd give up, and I'd give up.
How's that offer from Credit Suisse?
I'm not going to do it.
Did they come back with 200 more?
They did.
I told you that the price in the competition. Back in the day when they got started.
Well, the downtown boss still want to be doing mergers and acquisitions.
Yeah, fine, and that's why the Jews were doing it. And then mergers and acquisitions became all the rage, and guys like Stephen and Mort became the establishment. We are the new Jews. We go about it the right way. We get to where LBH is now in a quarter of the time.
You coming up with this on the fly?
This afternoon. That farm will never be ours. It's theirs. And they're always going to remind us that we were just invited to the party.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Who's reading this? Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting.
Just stopping short.
I'm so sorry. It's so nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too.
Hi.
I'm so sorry, I thought I heard 7.
Look, as long as you don't mind waiting for dinner.
Honey, they brought us cupcakes from Magnolia.
It's banana pudding, actually.
Oh my god, I love that stuff.
It's like crack.
Isaac, would you like anything to drink?
Squash and BK on the rocks.
Honey?
What? What? Before the law?
I know I'm strange. I just love it so much.
So, who's reading the guy up there?
I am, since you suggested it.
She's been raving about it.
The only reason people remember this book anymore is because it's the one Woody Allen used to time Keenan on the first date night out, and then he tells her, this is everything you need to know about it.
Denial of death.
You should have given me a heads up too.
You think? It's an amazing book. I actually got the title for my new show for her.
What's the title?
The title. Well, first let me say it's been generations and generations of consumerism and cynicism.
Get it off.
Because this art market that just feeds the frenzy up. Something shifted. There's a movement of young artists who are not buying into it anymore. They're asking the real question. That is, how to make art sacred again. And I know it's an impossibly heroic task they've set for themselves, which is why I'm calling it Impossible Heroes. She doesn't like it.
It sounds like a P.S. Morgan segment on CNN.
About like Paralympic athletes.
The Impossible Heroes.
Very funny. How about you, then? What do you think of the title? After all, it's your show now too.
Are you kidding?
The work you're doing with the Islamic tradition is important in you. It needs to be seen widely.
Thank you, Isaac.
Congratulations, Ella.
Thank you.
That's incredible. I'm so proud of you, man.
A toast is in order.
To your show. And to Emily in your show.
Cheers.
So, how many?
What?
Number of paintings?
That's my husband. Always talking numbers.
I've got room for 4 or 5.
5? That sounds great.
I definitely want that one. The couple I saw in the studio, and I've been thinking about the study after Blesketta's move. But I'm not sure.
Oh, haven't heard that word in a minute.
I did a portrait of Amir a while ago. After an incident I'd just been to the Met and seen the Velasquez painting.
Which one?
A portrait of Juan de Pareja, who happens to be of Moorish descent. This is the original.
Oh, of course.
It's a study after the Velasquez. I'm using the same palette, the same composition, but it's a portrait of Amir.
Your very own personal more.
Muse is more like it.
I think I'd rather stick with the abstract pieces. Keep the impression of a work consolidated. But I am telling that it's a stunning portrait. Quite a tribute to you on the Velasquez.
You think?
Standing there in a black suit, silver cufflinks, perfectly pressed lily white dress shirt, which is so magnificently rendered. I mean, you can almost smell the starch in that shirt.
Not starch, Isaac. Just ridiculous thread count.
People do not stop talking about your shirts at the office.
Really?
Sarah's joking. It was spent half what you make on shirts.
Would it be far from the truth? Chardonnay, always.
How much it was done?
I liked her earlier stuff.
The landscapes, not a huge fan.
Exactly.
What? She knows that. I think it's smart she moved on. The landscapes are not as fertile in direction for her.
I think the landscapes are very fertile.
Come here. We both know why you like the landscapes.
Why?
Because they have nothing to do with Islam.
What she's doing with the Islamic tradition is taking her to another level. I mean, a young Western painter drawing on Islamic representation, not ironically but in service. I mean, it's a stunning and unusual remark.
What's the remark?
Islam is richly universal, part of this artistic and cultural heritage we can all draw from. I love that thing he said in London at the Free as Art Fair about humility and Renaissance.
Right. The Renaissance is when we moved away from something bigger than ourselves, put the individual at the center, and made a halt out of the personal ego. The Islamic tradition never did that. It was always connected to a wider, less personal perspective.
I'm using that as a catalog.
Stop it.
I'm serious. You've got a major career ahead of you. I'm just one of the first to get to the party. Emily Hughes Kapoor, a name to be contended with.
Here, here.
Kapoor. Where in India is that name from?
Why are you asking?
Did I say something wrong?
No. Stephen came into the office and asked me the same thing today.
He did?
You know, Kapoor is actually a very common Punjabi name.
I'm headed to Delhi after tomorrow. That's in Punjab, isn't it?
Not really, but same country, so why not?
What are you doing in Delhi, Isaac?
Sophie Sikandar has been to offer me studios.
Wow, that's really exciting. I love his work. Are you going to?
Ezra has schooled.
Joey's being polite. It's not because Ezra has school. I have a little bit of finished when it comes to flying.
That's one way of putting it.
I hate flying. It's a private thing. The thought of not being on the ground opens up this door to the every fear I have. And the hysteria around security only makes it worse.
It's a nightmare at the airports.
And now there's a whole new attraction. If the sand is being ogled over or fell down.
Fell down, definitely.
Why is that not a surprise?
It actually calms me down. Was that like for you?
What?
Security at airports. I mean, you hear stories.
Wouldn't know. I cut right to the chase.
He volunteers himself. Goes right to the agents and offers himself up.
To be searched?
I know they're looking at me. And it's not because I look like Giselle.
I've never heard of anyone doing that before.
On top of people being more and more afraid of folks who look like me, we end up being resented too.
Here are all these agents trying so hard not to discriminate, and Amir just calls them out.
Pure, unmitigated passive aggression. That's what my wife thinks.
Maybe she's got a point.
I think it's kind of admirable about it. If everyone in the world was so forthcoming, the world would be a very different place.
It's racial profiling.
Honey, I know what it is.
I can't imagine you that never was you.
It's not her. That's the point.
And it's probably not some Kansas grandmother in a wheelchair.
The next terrorist attack is probably going to come from some guy who more or less looks like me.
I disagree. The next attack is coming from a white guy who has a gun he shouldn't have.
Pointing it at a guy who looks like me.
Not necessarily.
If every person of Middle Eastern descent was as forthcoming as you,
Yeah.
I mean, we all got used to that kind of compliance.
Okay.
We might actually start getting a little too comfortable about our suspicions.
So you do have suspicions.
I mean, not me. I'm
Look,
just
hell,
saying-
I don't believe you.
Wait, what?
Honey, could you get me more port?
Who's that?
That's it.
Abe?
Your nephew?
Right. What's he calling you about?
Did he call you when you not call him back?
Yeah?
So he's calling me? Gotta work on that, honey. You guys hungry?
Getting there.
Alright, I'm
it's a backward way of thinking and being.
You don't think that's maybe a little bit wrong? I mean, it happens to be one of the world's greatest spiritual traditions.
Let me guess. You're reading Rumi?
Actually, yes, I have been reading Rumi, and he's great. But that's not what I'm talking about. Do you know Hanif Saeed?
I don't.
He's a sculptor, a Muslim and beyond. He has this way with these monolithic pillar-like forms.
Have you read the Quran, Isaac?
I have.
In Islam, monolithic pillar-like forms don't matter. Paintings don't matter. Only the Quran matters.
Paintings don't matter?
I didn't mean it like that.
How did you mean it, Amir?
You're aware of what the Prophet said about them, honey?
I am. What did he say?
He used to say that angels don't enter houses where there are pictures and or dogs.
What's wrong with dogs?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Every religion's got idiosyncrasies. I mean, my ancestors didn't like lobster. Who doesn't like lobster? What's your point?
My point is, whatever a few artists are doing, however wonderful, does not reflect the Muslim psyche.
The Muslim psyche.
Islam was born in a desert, from a group of tough-minded, tough-living people, who saw life as something hard and relentless, something to be suffered.
Not the only people who have suffered in the desert for centuries, are they? Don't know what that says about the Jewish psyche, if that's the only one to use.
Desert pain. I can work with that. The Jews reacted to the situation differently. They turned it over and over and over. I mean, look at the Talmud. They're looking at things from 100 different angles, trying to negotiate with it, make it easier, more livable.
Finding ways to complain about it.
Whatever they do, it's not what Muslims do. Muslims don't think about it. They submit. That's what Islam means, by the way. Submission.
I know what it means. See, the problem is in Islam. It's Islamophacism.
Guys, stop it.
Martin Abbey, right?
Ancients too. They're not wrong about that.
So wait. You've not read the Quran, but you've read a bunch of sanctimonious British bullies and you think you know anything about Islam?
Amir.
What? It's not fair game. I mean, if he's going to use that as a counter, it's fair game.
He has a point. I need to read it.
I'll go get a break for myself. Seems like you forgot.
There's one over here, Amir.
All I was trying to say with Islamophacism is that there is a difference between the religion and the political reason.
Isaac, in Islam there's no difference.
Sorry?
There's no distinction between church and state.
What do you mean, mosque and state?
I do. I'm guessing you're all opposed to people who think the Bible is the Constitution.
One of the two.
There are the fees.
This is so good.
Did I tell you or did I tell you?
It's so easy. You just slice everything up.
Fennel, peppers, celery.
Carrots, radishes,
What are these?
baby artichokes.
What gets me as much as the people who treat the Bible like the Constitution are the people who treat the Constitution like it's the Bible. I mean, try and figure out what a text written more than 200 years ago even meant. Like it's going to solve our problems today.
Exactly. Like all that bullshit about the right to bear arms. It was 1791, people.
That's my point. That's exactly what I'm saying, Mama.
This is delicious and really.
I picked up the recipe when I was on a Fulbright in Sevilla.
Spain. I love Spain. I ran with the bulls in Pamplona.
You did not run with the bulls.
I watched people run with the bulls.
We went to Spain for our Barcelona actually, for our honeymoon. The chorizo, the paella, the wine. Spanish wines are so underrated.
See, this is the problem I'm having. You're saying that Muslims are so different. You are not that different. I mean, you have the same idea of a good life as I do. I wouldn't even have known you were a Muslim had I not been for the article of the Times.
I'm not Muslim. I'm in a apostate, which means I've
I
renounced
know
my
what the
faith.
word apostate means.
Isaac.
Well, and do you also know that according to the Quran, that makes me punishable by death?
That's not true, Amir.
Yes, it is.
Have you even read that part? Have you? It condemns renouncing the faith, but it doesn't specify punishment. The tradition has interpreted it as punishable by death.
Impressive.
He's repeated it enough. I checked. I have a vested interest after all.
Fine. Let's talk about something that is in the text. Wife beating.
Why you?
Great.
So, the angel Gabriel comes to Muhammad and, yeah, that's how the Muslims think Quran came to humanity. Angel Gabriel supposedly dictated it to Muhammad word for word.
Oh, like Joseph Smith, Mormonism. An angel named Marami came down in upstate New York and talked to Joseph Smith
Marami
about...
money, not Marami.
You sure?
It was in South Park.
As I was saying, the angel Gabriel comes and teaches Muhammad this verse. You know the one. Men are in charge of women. If they don't obey, talk to them. If that doesn't work, don't sleep with them. And if that doesn't work,
I'm not doing this.
beat them.
I don't remember that being in the Quran.
Oh, it's there already.
The usual translation is debate.
Only for people who are trying to make Islam look all warm and fuzzy.
The root verb can mean beat, but it can also mean beat. So the Quran could be saying, if your wife doesn't listen, leave her, not beat her.
Sounds like a pretty big difference.
It's not how it's been interpreted for hundreds of years.
No, see. Sometimes you just have to say no. I don't blame the French
The French?
for their problem with Islam.
Oh, so you're okay with them banning away?
You do have to draw the line somewhere.
Okay, Miss Kissinger.
Endearing.
I'm married to a woman who has a Kissinger coat above her desk in the den.
If faced with choosing justice or order, I'll always choose order.
Why do you have that above your desk?
To remind me, not to get lost in the feeling that I need to get justice. You pull yourself out of the ghetto, you realize real soul order is where it's at.
Me? Justice. Always.
You know what they say? If you're young and not a liberal, you've got no heart. And if you're old and not a conservative,
You've got no
brain.
brain.
I happen to know a few very brilliant Muslim women who choose to wear a veil.
You love playing the contrary, don't you?
Not being the contrary.
Who do you know that wears the veil?
You wouldn't know it.
I think you're making it up.
I'm not.
So who?
Khalid's sister.
Khalid?
She's a professor of philosophy at Cardiff. She wears the veil.
Khalid, your trainer.
You train at Equinox?
Yeah,
I know Khalid, balding with the guns.
yeah, that's it. I don't even train at Equinox.
What's your point?
See, Khalid may be my trainer, but he comes from this ridiculously educated Jordanian background. All the women in his family wear the veil by choice.
It's not always what people think. It's a source of pride for a lot of Muslim women.
Firstly, they're probably wearing headscarves, not the veil. It's not the same thing.
The veil is evil. You erase a face, you erase individuality. Nobody is making men erase their individuality. Why does it always come down to making the women pay? There's a point at which you just have to say no.
Just say no. That's what Muhammad didn't do. Here's the irony. Before becoming the prophet, he was actually adamant that his followers not abuse women. And then he starts talking to an angel. I mean, really?
I still can't believe I've never seen the battle with Mormonism before.
Keep talking like that. Just keep saying that like it means something.
Both religions say you have multiple wives too. So I think Mormons are okay with dogs.
You still don't get it.
Get what? That is for a self-worth.
The Quran is about tribal life in a 7th century desert, Isaac. The point isn't just academic. There's a result to believing that a book written about life in a specific society 1500 years ago is the word of God. You start wanting to recreate that society. After all, it's the only one in which the Quran makes any little sense. That's why you have people like the Taliban. They try to recreate the world and then use the one that's in the Quran.
Honey, I think we get it.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you don't. And here's the kicker. no distinction between mosque and state. Remember all that? So if the point is that the world of the Quran is a better place than this one, well, let's go back. Let's stone adulterers, let's cut off the hands of thieves, let's kill the unbelievers. So, even if you're one of those lapsed Muslims sipping your after dinner scotch with your beautiful white American wife and watching the news and seeing folks in the Middle East die for values that you were taught were purer and stricter and truer, you can't help but feel a little bit of pride.
Right?
Yes, pride.
Did you feel pride on 9/11?
If I'm honest, yes.
You don't really mean that, Amir.
I was disgusted by it, okay? Absolutely horrified.
Pride about what? About the towers coming down? About people getting killed?
That we were finally winning.
We?
I guess I forgot which we I was.
You're an American.
It's in the bones, George. It's tribal. You have no idea the sort of childhood I had, the way I was brought up. You have to work real hard to root that shit out.
Well, you need to keep working.
I am. What?
That's enough. I'm gonna get you some coffee.
What? Look, I'm guessing it's not that different from how you feel about Israel sometimes.
You see?
You're telling me you've never felt that? Like a sudden blush of pride, say?
Blush, never felt like a blush.
When Israel's throwing its military weight around.
Critical of Israel. A lot of Jews are.
Okay, and what about when Ahmadinejad talks about wiping Israel into the ocean? How do you feel then?
Outraged, like anybody else.
Not everyone's outraged. A lot of people like hearing that.
Do you like hearing about it?
I said a lot of people.
No, I asked if you like hearing about it. Do you like hearing about Israel getting wiped into the ocean?
Isaac.
No, I want to know.
Sometimes, yes.
Amir, we're supposed to
And
be
I'm
celebrating-
saying that it's wrong. And that it comes from somewhere. And that somewhere is Islam.
No shit, it's wrong. But it doesn't come from Islam, it comes from you. Islam has no monopoly on fundamentalism. It does not come from a text.
Don't patronize.
You have been patronizing me this whole conversation. You don't like organized religion? Fine. Maybe you have a particular antipathy for the religion you were born into? Fine. Maybe you feel a little more strongly about it than the most of us because whatever. Fine. But I am not interested in your absurd and frankly more than a little terrifying generalization. What?
Stop it.
You're naive.
Amir, can I see you in the kitchen?
Naive and well-meaning. And on a collision course with history.
I'm 9. What a fucking asshole.
He's the asshole?
Did you hear him?
What is fucking gotten into you?
Nonsense, Chicanas.
Will you shut up?
I'll never understand what is seen this way.
Something's off tonight. Maybe he knows.
How good.
I don't know. He's mentioned Steven a few times. Maybe Mott told him?
Should have told him when it happened.
I'm under confidentiality, Isaac.
Well,
I need to tell you. I owe him that much. Tell him.
We should be celebrating. You come in here with good news. It's a Amy's night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get some champagne and we're going to have a wonderful dinner.
I'm gonna come with you. Is that okay?
Of course.
You think I don't know what you're doing?
what am I doing?
Isaac, please.
He's a big boy. Can't he handle a little pushback? Did you guys get into a fight before the showdown?
Why would we get into a fight?
Married.
I don't have the marriage you do. You could have told me about the show on the phone. bad day at the office.
So he knows
Knows?
about Jory.
What about Jory?
They're making a partner.
Wait, what?
They're countered with the offer she got from Credit Suisse
When did this happen?
last week.
Nobody told him here.
Well, she's telling him right now.
I don't understand.
There's not a lot to understand. They like her. They don't like him.
Maud's like his father.
Maud doesn't wear the pants Steven does.
Amir's been there twice as long as Jory has.
Well,
What?
that whole thing with the imam that Amir represented,
Didn't represent him.
that's not what the Times
He
said.
went to a hearing.
The paper mentioned the firm and they mentioned Amir. And it looked like he was raising money for the guy who was doing good for the terrorists.
That's absurd.
That's not what Steven thought. Even ballistic. Don't you know this? Joey said your husband broke down. He was crying at the staff meeting. And shouted about how if the imam had been a rabbi, Steve wouldn't have cared. He thought the comment was anti-Semitic.
Sometimes you people have a problem.
We people,
Jews, you see anti-Semitism everywhere.
you're married to a man who feels a blush when Ahmadinejad talks about wiping the Jews into the ocean. Stephen is a huge fundraiser for Netanyahu. And I have no idea why Ahmed would go anywhere near a guy like that imam.
For me. Did it for me.
He doesn't understand you. He can't understand you. He puts you on this pedestal. It's in your painting. Study out with the baskets. He's looking out at the view. That view is you. He's looking at you. And that expression on that face, shame, anger, pride. The pride he was talking about. The slave finally has the master's wife.
You're disgusting.
It's the truth, Em. And you know it. You painted it. If what happened that night in London was a mistake, Em, it's not the last time you're gonna make it. A man like that, you will cheat on him again.
I said,
Maybe not with you, but you will. And then one day, you leave him. And I'm in love.
what the fuck is going on here?
You come in here and you don't tell me this for a week, and the second I say something you don't like hearing, you walk away from me in mid-fucking sentence? Who are you? What? What?
Are you having an affair with my husband?
Nobody's having an affair.
I walked in here and they were kissing.
That is not true.
They were kissing
Amir,
there.
it's not true. That's not what was happening.
I know what I saw.
Isaac told me about them making you partners. I know how much longer Amir has been there than you. I was upset. I was crying.
I was consoling her.
By kissing her?
You weren't kissing. Why do you keep saying that?
Tell me the truth, Isaac. Are you having an affair with her?
Honey, I already said we weren't kissing.
What the fuck were you doing when I walked in here?
I was hugging her because she was crying for me.
Isaac told me about them making you partner. I know how much longer Amir has been there than you. I was crying.
First, you steal my job. Now you try to destroy my marriage. You're fucking evil. After everything I've done for you.
I know what I saw.
Do you have any idea how much of myself I poured into that place? That closet at the end of the hall with the cleaning supplies? That was my first office. Yours had a view of the fucking park. Your first 3 years? Were you
there's a reason they call you people animals.
Get out.
There's something you should know. Your dear friend Walt is retiring. And guess who's taking over his caseload? Not you, me. I asked him, why not Ahmed? He said something about you being duplicitous. That is why I'm such a good litigator. But it's impossible to trust you. Don't believe me? Call Walt. Ask him yourself. Let me guess, he hasn't been taking your calls.
Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm here.
He's right. He hasn't been taking my calls.
I'm gonna get you that coffee.
And have you been sleeping with him?
It happened in London. We were at the Frias. And drinking. It's not an excuse, it's just
testament to the greatness of our country and the determination of the American people. The cause of securing our country is not complete, but tonight we are once again reminded that America can do whatever we set our minds to. That's the story of our history. Whether it's the pursuit of prosperity for our people, or the struggle for equality for all our citizens, our commitment to stand up for our values abroad, and our sacrifices to make the world a safer place. Let us remember that we can do these things not just because of love or power, but because of who we are. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America.
What happened?
I didn't get stopped. All I did was to drink coffee at Starbucks.
With your friend.
Don't tell me. Tariq?
Yeah.
Hasn't everybody been telling you?
Let him speak.
My parents are all about it.
Okay.
Me and Tariq was drinking coffee at Starbucks. Tariq starts talking to his barista who's on a break. I can tell that she's not into him, but he's not getting the message. She starts inquiring about the proof he has and if you're Muslims or not. Then she asks how we feel about the Al-Qaeda. So Tariq says, Americans are the ones who created the Al-Qaeda. What? You don't believe that?
Isn't
The CIA trained the Mujahideen in Afghanistan. Those are the guys that became the Al-Qaeda.
it's a little more complicated?
Actually, no, it's not. Not really, Akhtar.
Okay, fine. What happened?
So she got snippy. And Tariq got pissed. He says, this country deserved what it got and what it was going to get. She goes back into work, and 2 minutes later, the police come. She had called me. They cuff us, take us in. 2 guys from the FBI are already there at the police station, waiting. We have to sit through this ridiculous information.
What did they ask you?
Do we believe in jihad? Do we want to blast it up? How often did I read the Quran?
Okay.
Do we have girlfriends? Have I ever had sex? Do I watch porn? Do I hate America? They knew a lot about me, where I had gone to school, about mom and dad, where they were born. They already had a file. And then, they brought up my immigration status.
What about it?
It's up for renewal. When they said that, I laughed.
You laughed?
I didn't mean to.
Were
It
you
just happened.
trying to antagonize them?
No. Look, I know what they are trying to do.
What are they doing?
They are going to a community and looking for people whose immigration status is vulnerable. And then they push us to start working for them. So what? You don't believe that either?
I didn't say that.
I'm gonna go.
Where are you
I
going?
needed to talk to you.
Aunt Emily, stay. Please.
I'm gonna get some water.
Is she okay?
I don't want to talk about that. Who you calling? You can't call mom. She's gonna freak out.
I'm calling Ken,
Ken?
the lawyer on Amarjeet's case. Hi, Ken. It's Ahmed. Can you please call me back once you get this? It's urgent. Thank you. You need to understand that when you walk out of your parents' house, it isn't a neutral world out there. Not right now, not for you. You have to be mindful about sending a different message.
That what?
The one that landed you in an interrogation with the FBI.
So now what?
Let's hear what Ken has to say. Doesn't look good, but at least they let you go.
If he tells me that I have to go into our mosque and plan some bullshit attack just to stay in this
We
country,
don't know that's what's going to happen.
if you spend any time with your own people,
Excuse me?
what would you do? Huh? If the FBI asked you to work for them? What would you do?
There are ways to make the authorities know that you're on on their side.
But I'm not on their side.
You might want to rethink them. Because they make the rules.
I knew this was a mistake.
It's not a mistake. Understand? If you're not careful about this, you are going to get deported.
Yeah? Well, maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing.
To a country you haven't seen since you were 8 years old.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we never should have left. Maybe we never should have come to this one.
Your father came here for the same reason I did. He wanted to make a better life for himself.
A better life?
And to do it honestly. Which is not an option in
You don't have a better life.
What are you talking about?
I know you are fired.
Look, I don't know what you think you know.
I know what you did to her. How could you?
I don't know.
You expect something from these people you will never get.
Still your elder. You need to show me a little respect.
Just because I'm telling you the truth doesn't mean I'm not showing you respect. You forgot who you are.
Really? Abe Jensen?
I changed it back.
So what? You think walking around with a kufi on your head, shooting off your mouth in Starbucks, or sitting in a mosque and bemoaning the plight of Muslims all around the world is going to...
It's disgusting. But the one thing I can be sure about with you, you will always turn on your own people. You think it makes these people like you more when you do that? They don't. They just think you hate yourself. And they're right, you do. I look up to you. You have no idea what it did.
No.
No! You have no idea what it did to me. I mean, if you can't make it with them, the Prophet wouldn't be trying to be like one of them. He didn't conquer the world by copying him. He made the world copy him.
Conquer the world?
That's what they did. They conquered our world. We have to get it back. That's our destiny. It's in the Quran. For the past 300 years, they've been taking our land, drawing new borders, replacing our laws, making us want to be like them, look like them, marry their women. They disgraced us. They disgraced us. And then they pretend they don't understand the race we have got. I'm sorry.
Sam,
I can handle it myself, Uncle.
my sister's been telling me about it. I didn't realize that. Have you been reading my letters? I got the painting, but there was no note.
I didn't want to throw it out.
Look, I told your lawyer that I wanted you to have the apartment. I mean, I wrote you that, but I don't know if...
The apartment's not mine.
If you hate me so much, why did you drop charges?
I don't hate you, Amir.
Saw the write-up in the New Yorker. So proud of you.
Oh,
Have you been reading any of my letters? There was so much about me that you were right about. I'm finally seeing that. I'm finally seeing what you were seeing. I finally understand your work.
my work was naive.
No, it wasn't. Why are you saying that?
Because it's true.
Howard, if you had any idea how sorry I am,
I know. It's true. I was selfish. My work made me blind.
I just wanted you